Hello viewers, welcome back to Daily Retro. Today we've got another episode of retro gaming news and additions for you guys. It's been a really busy month news wise. 5 pieces of news to go through, which is a lot more than normal. But without further ado, we'll get into it, and then we've got a few little additions to the collection to talk through as well. And then at the end we'll just sort of give a small channel update. So at first it makes sense to mention some local news, so well, UK based news. This is that the Black Country Games Fair is coming back, and that is going to be on Sunday the 17th of September at the same location as last time, which is sort of southwest Birmingham, near Halesowen. It's at an archery arena. I went to the first running of it earlier this year and absolutely was bedazzled by how good the stock was. Really good sellers. So I highly recommend people sort of get the early bird ticket just to support Dana on this event. Only £2. And if you didn't go before, then it's definitely a reason to visit again. And then more than anything, it was just a really good YouTuber social if you're a YouTuber yourself, obviously, as well. And a good chance to get to meet them if not. So yeah, really excited for that. Dana, I'm sure, will put on a great event again. I'm sure they'd be even more sellers this time round. But yeah, that was the first piece of news, and really excited to see people at that event in September. So second piece of news is analog related. This is actually close to my heart because I ordered a analog pocket dock for sort of docking my pocket, as the name suggests, back in February, so that I could play FPGA titles of arcade stuff and such on my TV with my 8BitDo arcade sticks. So it's been something I've really wanted for quite a while. But anyway, so Analog have announced on the 21st of July that any pre-orders for the Pocket or Pocket accessories, apart from the cartridge adapters, will be shipped in August, so this coming month. So I was really excited to see that. I really thought that when they said 2023 shipping, it would mean December, because that's when my Pocket got shipped last year. So that'd be really interesting to see, and definitely we'll be doing a full review on the open FPGA side of things. I've already had a look, sort of played a few of the FPGA titles just actually in the handheld mode, and they play amazingly well. Obviously it'll be a lot more realistic with the 8BitDo arcade sticks, which are really well made, and I'll be able to use the USB ports on the dock to do wireless. So I'll be interested to test all aspects of that, so you can look out for a video in August most likely, if not September. And yeah, that's the end of the sort of analog based news on that front. So 3 pieces of news now that are all kind of related to retro gaming hardware. It's crazy to see how much stuff is coming out recently. So the first bit is an 8BitDo Neo Geo controller. This is a brand new wireless controller for that has the actual clicky micro switch wheel that the Neo Geo console had, and it comes with a USB adapter like any other 8BitDo controller. I have the M30 ones, I think they're called, for the Mega Drive, and I believe they'll probably be selling a native Neo Geo adapter as well for your Neo Geo to actually use these new controllers with. So that'd be really cool to see someone be able to use a brand new controller on a Neo Geo. I'm sure James in Retro Import Gamer will be after that one. So if you're watching, definitely get that one, mate. But yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the second piece of hardware related news. So this is a new controller by Retrobit. So Retrobit have got a new controller called the Origin 8, and this is a original Nintendo NES controller. She comes with a USB receiver for PC usage and such, but also the actual original NES adapter as well. I believe these controllers are going to be released in Q4 this year, so you can look out for those. And that reminds me, the Neo Geo controller I mentioned, that is coming out on the 15th of August. So sorry for that little date mix-up, but hopefully I've sort of redeemed myself for that. And then lastly on the hardware news is 8-bit mods. There's a lot of 8-bit in this episode. 8-Bit Mods, who are a UK based shop and sort of hardware creator. They made the Memcard Pro, which a lot of you may have heard of. I've mentioned it in the series before. I actually have one for my PlayStation 1. They've now announced their PlayStation 2 equivalent. Obviously this looks very similar, it just has the PS2 compatibility. Annoyingly, if you're willing to switch around your memory cards, then this PS2 memory card obviously does work with PlayStation 1 as well. So if you are after just one solution and you're willing to switch memory cards between consoles, then this new 8BitDo Memcard Pro will do that. The pre-orders are up now, links will be below for all this stuff I've mentioned, and the pre-orders are coming out in December, if not slightly before. I'll definitely be getting one. It's probably the best sort of PlayStation related hardware news I've heard in a long time. It's not been a lot for the PlayStation 2 other than the Retro Fighters controllers, which are not perfect controllers by any means, but this product is bound to be good quality. I'm really impressed with the Memcard Pro on the PlayStation 1. So yeah, I'm sure they'll embed a load of really nice features into that product. It's going to be priced at £40, which is not too expensive, and a nice price point considering that their original Memcard Pro was originally priced around £60. I know they've reduced it now to 40, so it's nice they're keeping that consistency. But that's the end of the news front. So without further ado, we get into a few pickups. It's not been an overly busy month for myself, just because financially we're not exactly well off at the moment, so I was just sort of limiting my spending on retro related tech. That's going to be the case until we get sort of help with childcare next April, I think it is. But yeah, without further ado, we'll get into what I've got. So this has been something on my radar for quite a while that I've wanted to get for reading Game Boy cartridges, in specific GBA titles. So I used to have a GBX cart by Inside Gadgets, and that was good, but the version I had didn't support GBA, so this does. So this is the Benven Joey cart reader. As you can see, my focus is not great on the camera at the moment, but you put your cartridges in the top there, and then you've got USB-C on the front to connect to your computer. And I was really impressed by this. It does not need external software to be able to read the cartridges and the saves. So it is literally like plugging a Game Boy cartridge into your computer and seeing it as a USB thumb drive. It really is that simple. Really impressive firmware in here to do that. You can literally drag and drop the ROMs and your save files off. I like to back them up to my Google Drive, just so I can then export them to wherever I want, whether it be the PS Classic or whatever. But yeah, really good read and write speed on this as well. It will also write to flash cartridges if you're interested in that. But great to sort of take your saves and original cartridges and back them up somewhere. This was priced at £42 through Z Labs in the UK. So not a cheap product by any means, but a really high quality product. This sort of 3D printed bit on the front was by Z Labs themselves, just to make it sort of look more aesthetically pleasing. They are quite low in stock to get anywhere in the UK, so if you are looking for one, then make sure you get one soon. And then finally, recently my wife did the Life in the UK test in Birmingham, but sort of on the way back we thought, oh, Birmingham, centre of Birmingham is far too expensive, so we might as well make the most of being up here, and went by Vintage Gamer, which is probably the best value retro gaming shop in the UK. One of my favourites to visit, and the fact that it's open most days a week is absolutely great. So we literally, this was on a Tuesday afternoon, we just went in there, it was open, really quiet, which was nice. Lots of people bringing in stuff to sell, but no one really buying on that day. But Nick did an amazing deal as always, £15 for all of this total, which is incredible considering when I looked on eBay at all of it, it was priced around 35 quid at the low end. So this is basically an upgrade to a cartridge only game that I have, and that is V-Rally on the Game Boy Color. Really nice condition cartridge and instructions. All it doesn't have is the insert to hold the cartridge, but I'll just be able to buy some cheap insert or acquire one off a friend of mine fairly cheap. And this was really nice to get in the collection just because I only had it cart only before. And again, Nick did an amazing deal on it. The cheapest you'll find this just on its own on eBay, complete in box, is probably around £20. And then secondly, we've just got a couple of PlayStation 1 titles. So this is quite a generic title, but that is Gran Turismo 2. Weirdly, I didn't have this in my collection and didn't realise till quite recently. I have the original, but this one, I seem to have been looking for it for a while, but it's never been in great condition. So this was in really nice condition, and it comes with all the sort of inserts and manuals, and the discs were in really nice condition as well. As you can see there, it's got all these inserts. But yeah, really nice to see that completely complete, if that's even a word. And the discs are in great condition. I've already ripped the ROMs off them, so I can put them on my PS Classic and on my X-Station PlayStation 1. And then secondly is Michelin Rally Masters. Again, quite a common title, but very tricky to find in good condition. This one, as you may well be able to see, does have a crack across the front, but not majorly damaged as such, and the disc was in very good condition, so I was happy to pick that up. And that is it for the pickups this month. Yeah, small amount, but some stuff off the list, which is definitely a big tick. The list is still fairly big, but I've not been able to sort of spend a lot on picking stuff up. Hence, the stuff I have got has been fairly cheap this month. If I spent any more than that, then it's going to get more difficult, so I didn't try. But without further ado, get into sort of a little channel update. So if you're not interested in that side of things, then feel free to tune out now. So yeah, little channel update. I've not been doing sort of as many videos recently, even though I sort of said at my sort of 2-year marker that I would be doing a lot more videos. It's just been quite a tiring time. This games room is, to put in perspective, is literally 5-10 meters away from my son's room. He's almost 20 months old now, and then recently he's been a good sleeper since 6 months in his own room, and then recently I didn't even realize this was a thing, but at 18 months apparently most boys especially go through it, where they have sudden separation anxiety and do not want to be left. So it's like restarting sleep training all over again, and any sort of noise will just wake him up. So I could not come in the games room in the evening to record videos or play on the sim rig and such, which is a little bit disappointing. I did some research on it, and it was basically saying this could last up to a month. Fortunately, it got a lot better after about 10 days. So hence I'm able to record these videos now. But yeah, that's been a little bit of a tiring time, let's say. And yeah, we're not exactly, I'm not going to say we're tight for money, but financially it's been difficult whilst we don't have the childcare from the government. I believe that kicks in for 2-year-olds in April next year, so that'll be an absolutely massive help for both of us. Natasha's hoping to go back more days next year at work as well, so that'll sort of decrease how much financial strain we're in. I've had to sell a few little bits from the collection if I wanted to sort of buy other things. I did mention that in my prior videos that my Kingdoms of Amalur poster was quite expensive, but I funded sort of 80% of that with selling a few bits from the games room. So yeah, it's definitely not been a time where I'm able to spend a lot of money on what I would like for the collection. But I'm still not that fussed, to be honest, because it's not a great deal of rush on the things that I'm wanting to pick up. So they can definitely wait till next year. For now, I'm just enjoying playing games, to be honest. In the last few months, I've completed LA Noire, Art of Raleigh. I'm almost at the end of Hogwarts Legacy now. Really didn't get stuck into that in sort of the last third of it. It just sort of dropped off for me. It wasn't really that interesting, and it still isn't that great, to be honest. But now I've got that far, I want to complete it, and a few other little multiplayer games. But yeah, it's not been a massively busy month on the gaming side of things. But yeah, thank you for still tuning into my videos if you are still interested. I hope to sort of increase my videos now that my son is sort of getting his sleep routine back more and more. I do like coming in the games room in the evening, especially with my sort of LED lights. It's a nice place to relax, as I'm sure some of you who have games rooms will respect as well. That is a nice place to come and just chill sometimes, even if you're not playing games. And not being able to do that does sort of affect, I would go as far as to say it affects your mental health, I would say, because some people have other ways of relaxing, and for me it's usually gaming. Most recently gardening has helped me as well. I don't really have any sort of dad support network or anything, so it's literally just keeping myself to myself, but I'm absolutely fine with that. But yeah, I hope you guys are all well. If you've got any comments on what I picked up or the news, then feel free to drop a comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you very soon for another video. Cheers.